I welcome everybody to the program. We've got a Tiger Network's not coming up. Okay, well, all right. We can do without that one. Hi, I'm Paul from Global Voice Network. We've got a program with Drake Bailey and Pattie Brassard. This is actually a free range program, but we have joined forces because we're just trying any way we know how to get chat in here so people can ask questions. There is also going to be an opportunity where people can actually connect to the very conference that we are using to broadcast this program. And actually, you'll be able to ask them the questions yourself. And everybody is connected to the stream now. And I am going to turn it over to Gail. Welcome to the program. Well, I think you should. Yeah, yeah, he looks like a clean cut ZZ Top. Yeah, they would put the questions in the Global Voice Network YouTube channel, and let me refresh that page, bring that up, sure that that's live. Yeah, apparently it is live because not okay. If if I could interject something really quickly, Dot Connector, if you can go to the most recent video on Gail's channel and put the YouTube link to that channel to where we're streaming and put that link in. Yeah, Dot Connector, you're going to have to shut down shut down the volume on the YouTube channel. Just click on the speaker; it'll mute that. So that's all good. Just put the link to the Global Voice Network YouTube channel in a comment on the most recent video on Gail's channel. So I don't have to go to the most recent link; they'll find that. A lot of people are going to be finding these in the archives, so we'll get the word out there any way we can. while you guys are talking, I'm going to pop the link in the so all right, Drake, go ahead. Any news from upstairs? It's okay. Don't worry about it. That that that's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it is. Um, I, I'll verify it.
Aware of. Don't take it on yourself. The bad guy in the bushes with a gun. That won't get you anywhere. Now, that said, we're going to be allowed to summarily judge a whole bunch of the bad guys, to include execution. So be aware, be prepared, because there's going to be some humongously interesting changes coming to our way of life and technologically and all kinds of things. Okay? How about that,
Okay.
Dale? Is that good enough?
Please
Oh,
redo the high points because for one reason or another, the stream audio got muted. So, but that's been corrected. The audio is working now. So just recover the high points of it. Please bear with us. We're connecting two different networks on a completely unfamiliar platform, streaming to 16 different places. So
most of them your places.
no, no, a lot of them are your everything that's on your restream
Everything
is
on
going
Restream,
there.
really? Oh my God! How can your
Everything
computer
on your
handle all
restream is
that?
going.
And
So
Anyway,
sometimes, like Jitsi takes a little jujitsu in the technological department.
yeah, something like that. Well,
okay.
I've
Highlight your points again, Drake. Okay,
yes,
we'll just
Highlight my points.
about
Somebody is in for a
upstairs.
large charge. They're going to land on the White House lawn and a bunch of other things. Now, the Constitution is going to be the basis for a, you like this, world government. Now, I didn't say New World Order or any of that crap. This is something that ET has set up before. Uh, when there were transitions for other solar systems, and it's still working very well today. Now, there's modifications on each one according to what their situation is. A lot of it is temporary. They don't put things into absolutes unless it's something that they have to do. They try not to do that. Okay, Paul?
Well, and the original world government that we had was comprised of 26 people. So
Well, we're
keep
going to
that in
have
mind. That's what we're going back to what we used to have.
Like
Yeah,
about 26 people? No, that sounds really good because we have way too many people.
And they're
in
all
government.
females. And they're all female.
Well, here's the neat part. We're going to have a group of representatives from combinations of countries, and that group of people get together and weed out the chaff, and they get it down to one or two. Now we got 180 some countries, so that's quite a few legs wandering around. And so what they're going to do is they're going to have like Asia would have 3 people max. 3 people.
Yeah.
And you get
United States, Canada,
area.
Mexico are all going to be one.
Well, all of Mexico, Central America, and parts of northern South America will be one group. And out of that group, there'll be 3 people. And whittling that down is going to be a real bear. Now, ET has told me that there's a time limit on how long we got to play that game. They are liable to come in and say, okay, you've had enough time, choose. Do it now. You need a vote or whatever.
I think most of it's going to be done at post transfer.
Post transition.
Yeah.
Gail?
I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I was wondering who it does the choosing is what it boils down
We
to.
do.
Well, yeah,
We do.
the people, but it's
Everybody?
no.
Yeah.
You listen very carefully. Asia. You know how big that is? That's China,
Huge.
North and South. Yeah, okay. They get to end up with 3 representatives. They're going to have to break that up into zones, areas, or whatever, and the wants and needs of the people in the zones determine the list that each of these 3 will bring to the table. So what you've got is Europe, 3 people.
That's why that's why Taiwan's got to reunify with China, although they're going to keep their own local government.
Yeah.
That's going to be tied in.
Yeah.
There's reasons for a lot of the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, a lot of the ring around the rosy right now is an adjustment, preparing for this transition.
Where did you say America came in? Is it Canada, America, and Mexico?
Mexico and a small part of South America.
Yeah. Well, Central America.
All of Central America.
Mexico and all of the small countries on the peninsula, including a few of the countries, and I don't know which ones, from South America are going to be included in one of these areas. Each area gets 3 representatives, period. And even though they're huge, you have to understand that the logistics is a nightmare. Trying to get a bunch of people that hate each other in terms of religious belief or whatever to go along with the program is difficult at best. They've done it before, so they can do it again. From the timeline ideology that I got from Lucor in terms of how long it'll take, they said that it shouldn't take longer than 3 years maximum.
I don't even think it's going to take that long. Bear in mind, most of this is going to go down post-4 transfer, where all the trauma and everything is removed from people's memories and everything, which is going to make things a lot easier. So
so their whole state of consciousness will be different. Therefore, they're not going to have this.
all the crap from here ain't gonna.
They're not going to have all that warring,
Yeah.
angry, nasty attitude.
You don't have to fight over what kind of vinyl siding you put on your house any longer. Or what hand you use to flush the toilet. I mean, there, that's better.
Okay, we don't have any questions yet, and I did post it in the Cosmic Voice group. Hopefully, we'll get a bunch of people coming in from there. And
We've got
Gail,
25 watching on my Rumble channel.
okay, Dot
That's a
Connector,
start.
if you can pop into Rumble and see if anybody's got any questions in there. I'm monitoring the Global Voice Network YouTube channel. Gail, if you can drop a link in your Facebook page.
Pattie's chat group.
Oh,
Okay.
I did.
Um,
Pop, what link are you
I'll
talking
go
about?
look.
The
Rumble and Odyssey.
either the Rumble, the Odyssey, or the YouTube link. Either way.
Somebody just sent me a message and said there's no sound on Facebook. I don't know why, but
Well, there should be sound everywhere now. Sound was muted on the capture for a while, but it should be working now.
okay. Yeah, please, people, understand that, like I said, or like Paul said earlier, this is totally new. We've never done this before. And we're using his platform, my platform, and a totally new platform. So it's really a challenge, a media challenge. So please bear with us.
Yeah.
But we're doing okay.
And
We
if
really
you
are.
if you actually want to join us on the program, you can send a private message to Gail through her Facebook channel, or you can send a private message to me, and we'll get you the link, and you can actually join us. How about
Far
that?
out.
Yeah, gotta love that.
So do we expect it to get crowded in here or what?
Well, we've got up to 100 that we can support, and the more people that we get in, the more videos we have to turn off to conserve bandwidth. But for now, we're good.
Okay.
I just asked that person that told me there was no sound if there's sound now. So hopefully that is corrected. I don't know why there isn't any sound in my Facebook, but anyway.
If you can drop a link to one of the other networks into my group so people can get there
Okay.
where they can put questions in. If you can drop, that would help.
Share to a group. Okay, I'm doing that right now.
A link
So
to
Pattie,
one
why
of
don't you give us any
other,
updates that you have from upstairs while I'm
networks.
trying to get this into your group?
It's not a whole lot. I've mostly lately been just, taking out bad guys, and sometimes Dean and I go on runs outside the system, which most of which they don't let me bring back, just snippets. And when I'm taking out down here, it's mostly with the Procyon group. So as I've already explained, in group, the gardeners and the Guardian group are not real pleased with me right now. Not that I care. I mean, I'm the one that called them in, and they don't like what we're doing right now because we're putting a lot of truth out on the mainstream media that still has the mind programming stuff turned on. So they're not real happy with.
I still don't understand why they're upset about that when it's the truth.
Because it's a violation of free will, period. Now we're doing it.
But
so does that make us as bad?
It's very simple.
A breach of free will is a breach of free will, period.
Well, they breached our free will first.
You're opposing the Marxist in doctrine, and that's the basis for all of the other funky ones that you know of, whether it's something taught in school or not, it doesn't matter. Politics, etc. All of this Green New Deal crap and all that is when you put it through in terms of truth. I always tell them, don't argue with me, argue with the upstairs. You don't like God? Talk to management.
Well, I guess the thing that, I've talked to Patty about this before, and I think in many ways she agrees, is that, we were fed nothing but lies our entire life and generations before us. So right now they need the truth on mass media because that's what everybody relies on, unfortunately. But that's not humanity's fault either. I mean, humanity has been kept down in so many ways that it just it seems only fair as far as I'm concerned, but that's me.
The rules we're supposed to be playing under is in getting this situation corrected. We're not supposed to do things as bad as the opposition.
I suppose. But when the truth is the truth, and so it wouldn't matter. I mean, I don't know. I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, some horrific wrongs have been going on for millions of years, and to bring that up at this point in time as an issue is I don't know. I think it's frivolous on their part.
Well,
but that's just me.
They want the power of controlling.
Now they're going to zap me. No.
They want
the Guardian group and the gardeners have never been physically manifested. Their original ascension was from one type of energy being to another. So
they don't have a clue.
They don't get it. They just don't understand, and they're never gonna. So
very true.
That makes a lot of sense because if they had been in this position, I think they'd have a whole different attitude, and that's something
Kim is doing whatever they tell her to do, and that's why a lot of times from one week to the next, she seems to flip-flop back and forth on things. She's just going with whatever they tell her. So,
well,
and sometimes that's counterproductive to her own program of trying to get people to work on their own control issues of their environment and whatnot.
Okay, I guess there is a question here. Let me read it. It says, this is from One Earth Spirit. Are the plans that Kim Guggen's groups are working on going to come to be on this planet or in the next dimension and another planet? Are schools changing totally after the transition?
We have brand new cleaned up Earths for everything. The 5D one, which is where everybody's going to end up eventually. The 4D one, of course, with time streaming the other way, that's cleaned up. That's not on this Earth. Then, of course, the Trump group and all the Christos group, they get their own Earth because they have to. We weren't allowed to interfere with their soul contracts. Same thing with the other two, the Muslims and all you folks from India.
Well, maybe
they get their own Earth to get through the soul contract before they go to 4. But because 4's time is streaming the other direction, it's easy to actually make it work out for everybody to get to 5 at the same time. Although the different groups will take different lengths of time to get there.
Yeah.
Individually.
What's interesting is the way that they have worked it out so that all these divergent groups, ones that are at odds with each other, etc., come together in the end. That's what I like. We have another question on the thingy over here.
Oh my goodness, Patty, you okay?
Yeah, I need my albuterol and I don't have one. I've been getting up their ass over it.
Well, I wish you were close.
Just in the weather here. That spot I've got on my left lung from the pneumonia just refuses to go away. Yeah, I spent 11 days over in the hospital with pneumonia on oxygen. And the inhaler they were supposed to give me that was locked up in my room when I left there was nobody around to unlock it to give it to me. So
Well, aren't you in a healthcare facility right now? Why can't they get you some like stat?
They did, but they got me that Pro Air stuff, which doesn't do a damn thing. I told them, no, I need my actual albuterol. This crap they gave me doesn't do anything.
Okay, we've got another question
so
from
sorry.
Rumble, but I've got one question really quick from
Good luck.
Facebook.
You do your question, then I'll do the Rumble one.
Right. Okay. My question is: Nasara still going to happen? And when is the currency exchange?
It's probably not going to be happening here because that's not. I can't roll forward until we get all these assholes taken out.
Okay.
Well, the problem with all of that is that the global currency reset is already well underway. They have the quantum banking system in place, and they're playing with it, trying to make sure all the bugs are out. Then they'll announce it, and at that point, then about 30% or better of the world banks disappear, and by that I mean poof.
There's still a few left, and all the new currency and everything's already been printed. And Trump's doing these coin things, and there's a lot of. I mean, if you can afford it, I obviously can't afford to get Trump coins. So the minimum is $1,000, and who the hell has a spare $1,000 kicking around?
Now they got a question.
They sell them for less than 1,000, I think. I don't know.
They got a question that I find really interesting.
Wait a minute, which one is it? Let me
to get ready.
What's the question is? What's the best thing to get ready or be ready for the shift or the shit? I don't know which.
The shift.
I guess.
Have a good meal.
I was being facetious. Okay.
Work on your soul connection. Yeah, work on yourself, and stop paying all the attention to everything that's going on out there, because that's just lowering your frequency. Understand it's a play.
And
Well, the
they're doing
second
that
part
on
of that,
purpose.
Pattie, is really interesting. Can they describe the difference between reset and Nasara? The global currency reset introduces the new currency, negates the old. Some of the small people won't lose anything at all. The big people are going to lose a lot. And you get the possibility of a transfer of value, as it was explained to me.
Yeah, and the global reset is the bad guys' term where they wanted to enslave you. So
yeah, well, the global currency reset is the new currency.
Yeah,
and I like that a lot. So you're going to see a gold-colored in paper money. You're going to see credits on a funky-looking little card, among other things. So,
okay, here's another question. I'd like to read the questions if you don't mind.
Yes,
she's got to do something. It's her show.
The date.
Thank you.
They're asking questions. I don't know if we got to rehash the first part. They're asking questions, which the whole first part of the show we both talked on. So
yeah, but people are are joining the stream late.
Yeah,
because
it
wasn't promoted on the normal channels. We got to give people time to
come in, and it never hurts to repeat something anyway, because a lot of times people need to hear something more than once. They may not have registered the first time or even the second time. Sometimes it just depends on the individual. So that question is, how close are we to the solar flash?
Unless you're a bad guy, you're not going to be here for the so-called flash, because that's going to kill everything on the surface. So unless you're a bad guy, you're not going to be here for it anyway. So.
Yeah. That's a dimensional differential of transfer that the bad guys don't have the opportunity to have any part of.
Right.
In other words, they get fried.
So they get disintegrated while everybody else is moved off of this earth to wherever
That's a good description of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, I also heard that they're going to put them on big transports and send them to pristine planets, give them an axe and a shovel and a pat on the butt and say, yeah, try it again.
The multiple meetings we had down at Ganymede where they made promises and then we bring them back here and then they reneged on it. We've done this dance so many times that no, that's all off the table at this point.
Haven't some of the galactics figured out that these guys cannot be trusted? They will say anything to get away with what they want. So why do they believe them in the first place? I guess. I mean, I suppose they have to be offered.
They don't think that some people who carry guns like me will use them. That's a good, about the best explanation I can give you. If you had somebody like Adam Schiff telling you that such and such is gospel, I'd call him a liar and see what he does, because he's proved that he can't be trusted to do that.
I don't know. I don't think he knows what the truth is anymore. I think he's believes his own bullshit at this point.
Yep.
He's programmed himself. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a question. Are they going to be allowed to hurt people and cause more of those things that, and how do we stop this? How does this stop? This get stopped?
From one point of view, the Guardian group and the gardeners, they don't care what happens to the car you're driving around. It's just the soul that's inside it that matters. So
that's easy for them to say. They don't, especially if they haven't ever experienced a physical
I know.
body.
We've already gone over this.
What do you think they're getting
in multiple shows? I mean, a lot of people have already been transferred, and their bodies are still walking around here, but ain't nobody home in there anymore. There's a lot of that going on. They've already been moved.
So there is a question that's from Free Minds. Are we shifting now? So I guess you would say yes.
We've been shifting for about 2.5 years now. So individuals.
Yeah.
But people like me, I've got to stay here and shut off the lights.
They're having to send you the light bill.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, I've heard a lot of things about the shift is the precursor to the actual transition. The actual transition, nobody will be able to say it's BS and it didn't happen, and etc. Except those people who are already brain dead, and you don't need to worry about those clones. They're going to fall off the edge anyway. They believe in the flat Earth. We're going to march them over the edge and tell them to jump and see what happens.
Well, that's the most recent thing that's been going on, is the fact that they want to pull all the people out of flat Earth and bring them out here. They said that's got to happen before the drop dead date.
I think that
Well,
make good target practice.
Not all the people down in flat Earth inside are bad. The people that they've convinced, and see, that's the CIA's most prolific program.
well, because Flat Earth Dave happens to be a really nice guy. I don't know why he would be somebody to shoot.
But most of those are waking up too, because they went down and cut a big asshole through the dome down there, which made it blatantly obvious that it's an artificial setup down there. So
there is another question. Any information on the rocket that crashed in the moon? I haven't heard anything about that, but
I heard a bunch. Newport was rather lucid in his explanation as to what really took place. He didn't tell me how much I could share, so I'll let Pattie do that.
I'm not allowed to, because there's things connected to that are still going on. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Okay.
There's a lot of things I'm not allowed to talk about.
I'll express a couple of things so that people can have something to think about and chew on. The people at NASA decided to experiment after they accidentally had a crash on the moon. Okay. They decided to take a booster and run this thing full tilt into the moon's surface. Kabooey. And the thing rang like a bell for about 4 hours, which says that it's artificial, which says that it's, I don't know whether you can call it man-made or not.
It's not hollow though.
No, I didn't say that. And
It has a lot's been dug out. There's a lot of installations in there. Basically, if you look at the cities that used to be on the surface, they had to basically core out enough to put everybody from that original city of the folks from Tiamat, and they bear in mind they were 12 plus feet tall. So every level was a lot taller. They had to make enough room to move everybody inside. So of course, the outer shell rings.
Okay, but the thing is this: if you hit a piece of steel under the correct circumstances with a mallet, and you do it correctly, the steel, just like the book, The Stones Speak, the piece of steel will talk to you. So is the same thing true of what we consider solid objects. When you get into it, you'll find that that ET doesn't have to look at things in the same manner as per se a solid object, whether it's Skinwalker Ranch or where. It doesn't really matter.
I will give you one clue. The moon looks entirely different up at 5D.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go any further than that.
Well, the thing I like is that we all go to classes in 4D, higher 4D, just before we transition to 5. And I'm looking forward to that because I got some questions for the instructors.
You can ask me. They're not going to be able to tell you anything that I don't already know. So
that's okay.
Ask away, Drake.
Yeah.
Well, about Trump, it says in the chat over there.
Okay,
he's going to a remedial 3D Earth with all the Christos Group folks that are stuck under a soul contract with the Anunnaki and the Christos Group. I should say the remains of the Christos Group, because I wiped out all their original home planets, years ago. That's why upstairs thinks I've lost my perspective. All the revenge and shit that needed to be done, I already did that years ago, and I was pretty, heartless when I did it. So I've wiped out more than 24 entire planets in their entire population. So
not only that, you weren't even nice.
No.
Did you use that shredder?
Eventually, upstairs had to shut me down because originally I had an implosion set of tools that I would just chase them down the portal when they tried to run from here. I'd just follow them down their portal, and when open it up, if that was bad guy land, I just tossed it and closed the portal up. So they said, no, you're not allowed to be destroying classrooms. So that's when I developed the shredder. Yeah. So I left the classroom behind, just nothing on it.
The thing that Pattie's talking about right now is something that the Silver Legion and I ran into, where they told us to cut the crap. And wait a minute, you're ET and you don't talk to us that way usually. Well, this is important and you got to quit. And I said, why should we quit? And they said, because we said so. They did not know who I was at the time, but eventually we got it all together, and we are not limited in terms of capability or functionality. What we're limited in is who we might cause problems for, and a lot of these are we're supposed to eventually work with, which is, I think, interesting.
So all of these planets are these people that you chased down. I assume they were all bad guys, or they were doing humanity a
Well,
disservice.
the
Or
Christos group, and because they made the whole fake heaven with the auto recycle matrix and things of that nature. Yeah, the Dracos had a bunch of worlds in the Milky Way, even though they're not originally from the Milky Way. There are some issues out there now, which we're dealing with like there was a race that was part of the Council of 12, the Zeta Reticuli. Their planet's been taken over by the bad AI. So those are still up in the air because they were members of the Council of 12, although we basically kicked them off because they were given all our information back before the Guardian group showed up to the bad guys, which is why I wanted them kicked off out of the room. But those planets still exist. They're still under control of the, what they call the Red Queen or Sophia. It's a bad AI.
wow, that's different than what I heard, but okay. So are the Dracos, are you saying that they were the ones in charge of the Christos group? Or and as far as soul contracts, were these people who made these contracts, did they have full disclosure?
The Black Sun
They,
and Marduk, that was the group that was at the top running everything. Dracos were another layer. Like I said, there was four different what would you call it? Four main control groups, each with their own agenda. Originally, the Dracos were at the top of two of those streams, and then you had the Anunnaki and the Christos group on the other side. But the Black Sun was at the top of all of it. That's why we wiped them out and kicked them right out of this reality.
Yep.
wow.
They ain't around anymore.
No.
Bye.
I guess what I'm concerned about the Christos group. I don't get why they are. It sounds like you're saying that they have to stay in 3D.
Yeah. Trump's Earth it's a remedial 3D, not here because of all that's going on here. But there's a lot of parallels. He's going to be stuck in a parallel with all the Christos group folk. They got a replacement Jesus who's camping out on the Ashtray command ship up there, the last one. There was four of them. I've already blown three of them up. The main command ship, he's hanging out up there, and as soon as he's off of it, I'm blowing that one too. Because they're just corporate, galactic slave trade.
Something I came into that people ought to be aware of. I made a encapsulation pod, containment pod, whatever you want to call it. And the neat part about it is that it does not operate according to what everybody's familiar with. When you get somebody stuffed in it and you close it, they go into an infinity loop, round and round and round.
Yeah.
And they think that they're doing their thing and everything's cool. And then they get dumped when the pod dumps. They get dumped into what I would term retention room, where you have the same thing. And they think they're doing all these things, meeting all these people, talking to everybody, and all this, and they're not doing squat. It all becomes a part of their imagination. And the neat part about it was, Lucor asked me, and I said I'd see, and me and two or three other ETs worked on this. We now have a containment field that can be initiated to cover a whole solar system, so that these people, they can do all the damage they want to each other. They can't harm they can't get outside. They can't harm anybody else. And we figured that was the most humane thing to do, was let them all starve to death or kill each other or whatever they feel like they need to do. And that has been being set up by the Galactics. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, there's
Ooh.
another question in the chat I noticed over here, and it's asking, is Mr. T trustworthy, and will he be back in office?
Who is? Oh, Trump? Yeah, they can trust him to be what he is. That's the best thing I can tell you. I personally, let's put it this way: the man's intelligent, articulate. He's got some screwed up beliefs, in my opinion. But the thing about him that everybody finds so distasteful is that he goes off the rails whenever he gets upset. And you can't have somebody doing that sort of thing. It doesn't work well. 6,000 technologies
Okay.
to heal.
Wait a minute. I'll read them, Drake.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just to
I
keep it
beg
straight.
your pardon. I know I'm wrong for a start.
We already did an update on the solar flash and the Nasara Gasara unfolding worldwide, watching it happen. I don't know that there's anything else that you have to add to that.
Just
that you
do a
haven't
quick
already
synopsis. A quick synopsis, because we had some platforms where the audio wasn't working.
Said. Oh, okay.
And we still need to finish the subject because, like I said, Trump's going to be on that earth for. He's got to have at least 1,000 years. That's what the soul contract promise was. They got the replacement Jesus going down there, and from what I understand, they've reconstituted a lower level of Enki to play the father for the fake Jesus.
Yep.
Oh my!
Because the real one is already dead. So, and Enki was an Anunnaki. So, but he was supposedly the best of a bad lot. So, that's
Wow, because they were talking about him. First he was supposed to be Stitch and said he was a good guy. The other guy was the bad guy. Now he's the bad guy, and it's all switched on. Nonetheless, both of them were slavers.
He was
They
a good
wanted
guy
us as
for
slaves.
us. He was a good guy for us in one respect. He taught humanity how to use Anunnaki tech, which is why we were able to revolt and kick the Anunnaki off the planet. So that's the only way you can look at him from that standpoint. But he was, using us as slaves to mine gold and stuff. It's just he didn't want to oversee us using all their tech, so he taught us how to use it.
Oh my
which
word.
broke the Anunnaki rules. So.
Okay. Well, somebody's asking about the 6,000 technologies that are supposed to be available to heal us. Do we have?
They've already been released. There's more than 1,200 med beds already in circulation on the planet already today. And I'm trying to get set up so I can get into one. But
well, what's it take for people to know about them and find out about them and be able to make an appointment to be put on one?
Good question. I wish I had the answer to that because
okay.
I'd be in one already.
All right. So even though they're there,
they're being circulated, they're being used, but certain people have priority. Of course, the kids, any new kids we pull up get priority that we recover. Okay. But from what I understand, they're being used on shutdown military bases.
Well, somebody's asking
where they're using it.
Okay.
Some question is going to be a mother.
I'm going to bypass that one for 1 minute, and then I'm going to do. I'll come back to it. How does anyone know what their soul contracts are in order to change it if we don't agree now? Because they have new information.
If you had a soul contract, you'd know it. You wouldn't be sitting here talking to us, period.
Okay. Somebody's asking about mandatory jabs for
that's not going to happen.
Healthcare workers, and when will the kids be 6 months to 5 months to 5 stop? Is that going to stop anytime soon? I just saw a whistleblower on caskets that they ordered more caskets for basically made for children than they've ever used in like 5 years or something like that. It's insane.
The bad guys can't. You can't even explain to the bad guys that they lost. the ones that are still out there. The
They just
rest are
keep-
all actors, so they're going to keep playing the along with the script for the play.
What happens to those people? Are they the ones that'll
If-
stay when the solar flash comes?
If they're out, if they're part of the play, they're either got put over a barrel to do it, or they're clones or something else, and it doesn't matter. There aren't going to be any clones going forward afterwards.
And we stick one wire in each one of their ears and plug it in the wall socket, and you don't have to worry about it no more.
Okay.
All righty then.
There's answers to everything. Depends on what you're willing to do.
Well, somebody's asking how they can
And-
stop the you know what for healthcare workers by saying no.
Yeah, everybody, all the
Yeah, you
health
say no.
workers and everybody say, I ain't doing it.
No, I'm not doing it. Exactly. Let them fire you. If that's what they say they're going to do, because all of a sudden, if everybody sticks together and unites like we should, they would it wouldn't be an issue. They
And if
wouldn't
they
have any
fired you
workers.
over that, you could sue them.
Yeah.
And why put your life in jeopardy?
Yeah.
Anyway,
And that's pretty much only going on in the 12 Democrat controlled states at this point, because everybody else is pretty much going back to business as it was before.
okay. See what they're worried
It
about.
depends on where you live in this country, is just how bad it is. And I happen to live in a Democrat state too. So
Well,
That's why I live in the mountains.
there's people that are saying it sounds easy, but you need to make money. Okay. Well, the only thing that you have to do is file, write down a affidavit, get it notarized, and deliver that to your employer, and say, I'm not going to do that. If you force me to do that, you are put on notice that you are personally liable for any damages that occur. And if you let me go because of that, you are also personally liable for exceeding your jurisdiction and ordering me to do something that is not in my employment contract. And it's just
so they're also liable for your pay
lost
going
wages,
forward.
lost wages,
Lost wages
punitive
going forward.
damages,
Okay.
the whole thing.
All right. Another one, or a question or an issue is but that doesn't work to find a new job without that requirement, not currently with a company. That's
move
not
out of-
true. That's
Move
not
out
true.
of you got to move out of your Democrat state. That's all.
Either move or take up a different profession. That doesn't make that kind of requirement. If they start losing everybody because of that, they're going to have to figure out something else to do, and they're going to compromise. It's
This place
the
here.
biggest problem that I see is there's too much compliance when people should be saying, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not risking my
This
life
place.
for any job. You
Well,
don't have a right to tell me what I have to do with my body. Thank you very much. Anyway, go ahead, Patty. I'm sorry.
I'm in a healthcare facility, Plymouth Harborside. It's a retirement community for the elderly, as well as medical rehab. They're down to a skeleton crew because of that same reason. And a bunch of people here have got up and so fed up with this new mini Hitler we've got for a director that have left. We've had 9 people quit in the past 2 weeks. So,
Wow.
yeah.
How
Push
are
is getting
they-
to the point of shove. So,
They're just not going to be able to even.
never
have
mind how
their-
you help those who are already jabbed. They have to deal with their own issues.
If you have,
It's like
And how do
if
you
you get
fix
the right,
you can
DNA?
look-
if you
That's
get the
been
right
altered.
you
med,
can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, and it's
If you
not
get
your
the right-
responsibility.
Whole
if you get
food
the right
diet.
supplements, you can overrule the vaccine.
No, don't say that word, Drake, please. But anyway,
sorry.
that's not true, because you can't change the messenger RNA that invades the
Oh,
inside
good
of the
Lord.
cell.
Okay, hold up.
I'm sorry.
Even the vaccines, it depends on the person on whether
Be
it cannot
careful.
even get into the cell. some people aren't even susceptible to the mRNA even getting through the cell wall.
Okay.
It gets processed out.
If we're going to
It depends on the person.
if we're going to talk about this, we have to drop the censored platforms off. So we
Yes,
either
I
stop
asked you
talking
not
about
to say
this,
that word.
we either
Yeah.
stop talking about this, or I kill the uncensored platforms
All
right
right.
now.
All right. All right.
We've got 6 different platforms that will be shut down.
And anyone that's not human and has a soul that wasn't originally from Earth and they're just down here to help and such, they'll probably go home rather than go to 4D or 5D or back to this ship or however that works out to be. Although any extra abilities you pick up from being manifested down here do become a part of your full soul. That's pretty much stuff you've learned to do permanently. So
somebody said they were told they were born in Sirius B and volunteered here. If ever true, when will we regain their past memories? And that's after the transition. Isn't that correct?
when you get out of here, that's a specific of 3D Earth. The limited memory bit is a part of the environment, not a part of you specifically. And as you transition up dimensional levels, you get more and more wide band of connection to your full selves. I happen to have pretty much all of it, so.
And I stand corrected.
But I'm
We're
running 3
actually
different
on
bodies
7.
down here, so.
Paul, did you have? Were you
I can-
saying?
No, we're leaving them up for now. But if the V word gets mentioned one more time, I'm going to kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's other words to use anyway.
Yeah. So, and don't get me wrong, it sucks that we have to do this, okay? But we do. For right now, in order to get the message out, and in order to be able to bring the message to the people, we have to jump through hoops. So, anyway, sorry about the interruption.
Okay. Do we have any more questions?
I assume as far as getting your memories back, if you're down here to help, you're going to probably be leaving here shortly before me. So, good luck with that.
Well,
And there's a whole group of folks who, like, we're talking like 30,000 of them who came in here from outside the Milky Way, who thought they were just going to annex the entire Milky Way and make it a part of their empire, that got caught up in here too. I don't even know what they're going to do with those. That's another whole mess entirely.
Okay, it's my understanding that Drake needs to leave. Is that true?
Yeah.
Drake?
I gotta go.
Okay.
All right.
Let's let Drake answer the last question and then duck out. What things might we see before the transition?
Did you hear that, Drake?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I guess you were contemplating. Okay.
You're gonna see a combination of things that only people that have had heavy acid drips have seen. The malformation of shapes, colors, and insights where you can see through things, among other deals that go along with it. Along with this, you're going to have about every kind of a physical sensation you can think of. What will you see? Well, think about going down a road, going on a roller coaster, and being able to see what you feel, and then you get some sort of idea. Okay.
Okay. Someone was asking, is this classroom coming to an end by the end of 2022, or is the upstairs going to drag this on and on and on?
We already talked about the drop dead date, which was November 3rd. So now it's been bumped back to October 3rd. Again, we talked about the whole calendar issue, depending on which calendar we're looking at. But
This
no,
will be
there's not even going to be any midterm elections or any of that crap. So
we're we're heading into an area where people have not gone before, supposedly, even though many have. What you're going to look at is that a lot of people have their own ideas about what is to be done, what's going to happen. The ideas that I have accepted and propounded and talked about come from ET themselves. These are the people that are helping set this up and get it ready and help us to be ready. And then it will assist us after we go from 3 to 4. We are not going to have a long drag out. Not going to happen.
Oh,
Okay,
just like inner flat Earth is a mirror image of out here. That's why when the CIA mentally gets people to believe in flat Earth and everything, they transfer there because it's an exact duplicate 4D, with the exception of all the new tech and everything, is similar. So no, you don't take any of your clothes or your belongings or any of that crap with you when you go. And you're not even going to recognize that you went. So
So if you don't have your belongings and your clothes, does that mean you're going to arrive where you're going naked?
Naked as a jaybird.
no,
Oh man, I cannot imagine some of the politicians appearing naked on national TV. That would be a horror show all its own.
Well, hopefully most of them will be gone anyway.
Bye, guys. I gotta go.
Okay, bye.
well, it's hilarious when you explain to everybody that everybody upstairs can see you all the time anyway.
Buck naked.
They don't like to hear things like that. While you get undressed to go to in the shower and go to bed and everything, so it's not like it's anything they wouldn't have seen before. So.
What an invasion of our privacy. Okay, well, do we have any?
The part of you that's the sole part of you that's inside this vehicle down here looks the same as it does when it's outside of streaming time. So
There you go.
and it doesn't have any clothes. So
Well, it's kind of hard for consciousness to wear clothes, isn't it?
yeah, it's when you're just an energy being. There's no need to wear clothes.
Where do you put the clothes? Anyway, okay. So I think what people really need to think about is to become strong within themselves, and to
Well,
live in the now.
that question alone speaks to ego.
What
and
question?
gotta have possessing things,
Oh, taking yeah.
what they taking stuff with you that speaks to the point that they're not ready to go because they're still attached to things here.
Yeah. You don't get to take a U-Haul full of your stuff with you. It just doesn't work
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. No.
Okay. And here, I think another important point is, if you're not in your heart, you're not in the game. And we need everybody to be in their heart, and in the now, to help bring good things forward. But okay, next question is needing the med beds. My reality right now is sick and disability in the body. So, everybody is, waiting on
Join
these
the
med
club.
beds. Yeah. Some things you can do something about and some things you can't because of many years of not doing anything to help your body be in the best shape. Because a lot of people, and I'm not talking about Pattie, but a lot of people who don't have all their strands of DNA and who don't have the...
Did we lose? No, you cut out there for a minute.
Oh, you really need to take care of your physical vessel so that it's in the best possible condition to make its spirit easy to transmit the information to work through you. So anyway, sometimes
But you
people
don't have to take your body with you. You can have it whatever body you want once you go through. So, and once humanity is fully restored and triple pole DNA, you have the ability to morph your body mentally.
So at that point, you hardly need any med bed, right?
Yeah. All right, you don't need any of that.
At that point, you probably wouldn't need much by the way of possessions either, because you could visualize and manifest pretty much anything that you wanted, and your memory of every event that ever happened to you when you were in 3D would probably be restored with perfect clarity. I'm guessing.
But a lot of your previous incarnations as other types of beings and everything else would be back too. Bear in mind, originally humanity in its unaltered state could just whip up a whole new galaxy with their own private planet, set up however they wanted it. So
that's why all this Nasara Gasara stuff too is if we're transitioning, why do we don't even need that either?
Needed it 4D.
You need it in 4D?
Yeah.
But none of it'll happen until we're in 4D.
Because it's gonna, yeah. And well, some of it was supposed to happen here. That's why everything was already set up to already do it. But again, things get mirrored up to 4, so you have to do it here, and then it'll be there. You can't just take that much stuff out of people's memories and drop them in a new Earth city with no clue how to do anything. So yeah, you got to have.
What happened when we got here?
A transitional.
Yeah, they took all our memory away. We don't remember anything from our past lives.
But you grew up as a child, so with somebody to take care of you. So you got to have something to take adults over. Yeah.
Well, I would like to share some information before we wrap up the program. If anybody wants to know how to take back their power and actually figure out what exactly happened for society, humanity in general, to go so far off the rails, there's an informative website that you can go to. It's called thematrixdocs.com. That is THE Matrix DOCS.com. And that it's a great website, lots of information. Not only explains what happened, but it also explains how you can back out of the system and stand in your own power. Very similar to the state national thing, but much easier. Much more easy and straightforward. Check
and
that
what was
out.
that again? Matrix what?
Thematrixdocs.com. Thematrixdocs.com. There are links to radio programs. There's 5 radio shows a week, plus tuning in on Sunday. There's links to documents. There's downloadables. There's interviews. There is just a ton of information on that website. Just go camp out there and figure out how to get your life back. It's The Matrix, MATRIX.DOCS.com.
Well, I did a lot of that stuff many years ago for whatever good it has done. I even have a state national card, but nobody will accept it.
Well, because I haven't looked at any of that stuff. All I can say to people is take on board what resonates with you and leave the rest alone.
Right.
Exactly. Well, here's the other thing. What is the deadline date? What is the deadline of? October 3rd.
Getting all the rest of the souls that are going to graduate off this earth.
Wow.
Okay.
The ones that are going to graduate are the bad guys?
No, the ones that are going to graduate. Bad guys get to stay behind and get fried.
Oh. Well, isn't that special?
Yeah,
as well as all your human types as well. Anybody that's been through the celestial chamber and had their soul basically clipped, their souls have their clip, they're screwed.
You're talking about the celestial chambers that.
Yeah, and going full transhumanism thing, because you go from being eternal to being immortal, but the immortal part is tied to technology, and technology does not like Gamerverse. It tends to try it.
Okay. Well, somebody asked this. I don't know if you want to answer it, Patty, about the question about Kim Guggen. She stated that she and the Galactics got rid of the Dracos recently.
Almost, but not completely true. There are a number of Dracos who are now under the control of the princess, who we have under house arrest in Texas. The full Dracos human hybrids. They have a soul and everything else. And as long as they behave themselves, they're allowed to come with us. So,
Wow.
there is that.
Alrighty then. Do we have any other questions from anybody? Dot Connector, do you have any questions? And if you do, you're muted. So. Oh no. Okay. Is there anything else you have to add or that you'd like to say for people, Patty?
I wish I could just play that the 2 segments that are sitting in my group on Skype. Those 3 segments I did.
Oh yeah, I know
that
what
would
you're
have been.
talking about. Yeah. I wonder if we could put that in the description, maybe, of Rumble and Odyssey on my links anyway.
They don't have an inhaler here, so I can't just go get it.
What links
That's
are you
the problem.
talking about?
I did 3 audio recordings in a row, short ones, so like an hour, 1 hour or so, and they're recordings that are in my Skype group.
I thought you were talking about the writing that you did about Gaia and so on. So you're
that too would be a good thing to put in, but they wouldn't be able to see it, obviously. So.
Well, I think we can put it in the description, but a lot of times people don't look at the description, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something. Oh, I know where we could put it. Odyssey has a new thing where you can post articles.
Yeah, you could do that.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
You can actually upload the audios directly to Telegram. Gail, why don't you mention your Telegram group?
Oh, yes. It's all you have to do is search for Gale of Gaia on my Telegram group. It's t.me, Gale of Gaia, I think it is. Maybe Dot Connector can put that in the.
Yeah, I've got a group over in Telegram too.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. It was one that they auto issued.
Okay, I think it was put in the chats and then Facebook. Dot Connector told me, so that's good. Yeah, we were able for the most part to be pretty free in what we can post and say in Telegram. However, a few things have been removed that I'm aware of. Not from me, but other people have said that anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on Telegram, even Trump, even himself came right out and said there isn't going to be any midterm elections. Even he stated, yeah, we're going to wrap this up before then.
And BitChute has actually also pulled the Robert Young video.
Yeah, they did. I was surprised that BitChute did that.
BitChute,
because they're supposed to be uncensored. Well, apparently they are censored.
No, they've started censoring people and deleting stuff too.
Okay. Well, so the only ones that we know of then are Rumble and Odyssey.
Yeah.
As far as getting the best information, and I encourage everyone to go watch Dr. Robert Young's video on my Odyssey and Rumble channel. Don't let YouTube and Facebook tell you what you can and cannot see or hear, whether you agree with it or not. Yeah, it's just.
You can get to Gail's Odyssey channel by going to video.galeofgaia.com. That's video.galeofgaia.com. And you can get to her Rumble channel by rumble.galeofgaia.com. Rumble.galeofgaia.com. Easy, down and dirty, and go right to the channel.
Easy peasy.
And all my stuff is over the years, a lot of it's all at Project Ascension. I know I put a whole list with all the links in my chat group and Skype for people to go and look, as well as a number of them that are not in Project Ascension, because I've done so many videos now with other people. I'm still trying to backtrack and find the other videos I did with other hosts. So,
And things are, they're telling us we need to archive everything. So I haven't done that. So I don't know.
and we can all use all the money we can get our hands on, because we're always broke.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
I have no income at this point, so.
And I have extra expenses from hosting these shows that people I don't think they're aware of. And most people have gone to Patreon or other ways of getting a regular income to be able to keep putting stuff up. And I know Paul's in the same shape as well. So we all, we have to put out a lot to be able to do this. So, any help is very much appreciated.
yes,
So,
and you can also find donate links. I'm not able to put them on the ticker at the bottom of the screen, but the end credits, the addresses for both Free Range and Global Voice PayPal links are right there. And if you need to pause to write them down, please do so. And we appreciate that a great deal.
yes. And Pattie has her PayPal listed on Pattie's data group on Facebook.
Okay.
So anyway,
Cool.
isn't that correct, Pattie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is that?
Well, it's in my group.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm putting in the chat thing here, that's the correct way to spell my name. That's the only thing. It's 2 T's and an IE rather than Y, because I know a lot of people use a Y trying to find me, and they're not going to get it.
Alrighty then. Is there anything else? Does anybody else have anything to add or say or whatever before we wrap this up? I hear silence. Well, I guess nobody has anything else to say, but I guess I would just say stay strong within yourself. Be alone if you have to. Get to know yourself. Do a question. I have a great video that was done by Ginny Jamblowski, who talks about a spiritual car wash, which is a funny way of putting it, but it's simple, it's easy, and anyone can understand it. So you might want to check that out. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being here. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you, Pattie, for your participation. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for hosting this because of my YouTube channel being in jail, so to speak. And thank you, Dot Connector Christine, for always monitoring the chats and helping the way you do. Thank you so much.
Yep.
You can go to galeofgaia.com, and the PayPal support links as well as the links to uncensored platforms are listed there. And you can go to globalvoiceradio.net, and my PayPal link as well as links to my uncensored platforms are there. So you can support whoever you like to, and you can find the links to do that on those places. So if that's it,
I think it is.
apparently apparently we had a hiccup. So I want to thank everybody for joining us, and I do so much appreciate you and appreciate your patience. So take care, and we will catch you again. Wow, boy, that was weird.
Are we done? We're not on anymore, right?
No, we're still on.
Oh.
I had
Oops.
I had a network hiccup. So
Well, I'm glad I didn't swear. No. Just
yeah,
kidding.
really. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your patience, and as always, we appreciate every single viewer. So take care. We'll catch you next time.
Okay. We love y'all. Take care.